What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Blunderbuss79, and if anybody says they saw this one coming,
You know that I can see you.
hats off to you, bro. The Midnight Suns have gathered together to ward off any sinister supernatural forces. Bro, we got Doctor Strange, Sister Grimm, Brother Voodoo, and my God, the Man Thing. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely freaking lit, man. Like, so let's break this sneak peek down, and we'll get into it and see what's what. We got the rain flowing up, man. Like, just litty. That was the skulls on the cane over there, and then you got Sister Grimm flying in. It's like you got the P3 on the staff right there, and then we got Doctor Strange over here. We got the T with the 4 slashes. We'll go back and we'll check out all of that stuff. And then Man Thing coming out the sewers like he down there with Master Splinter, baby, been learning some jutsu. Let's go ahead and slide on over to the forum. Greetings, agents. This is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight. Superheroes with magical abilities have come together to protect Earth from evil. Check out the powers of the new superheroes who happen to be Swamp Monster, the strongest Sorcerer Supreme, the Magician who uses Staff of One, and the Priest who uses the power of Voodoo. We will announce more information through the update details later. So this is a one-shot, one and only sneak peek. I mean, I've been playing the game for 6+ years now. I don't remember them doing a one-shot sneak peek. If it has, it's been like forever, maybe even before my time. But it is a 4-piece banger with a tier 4 and a tier 3. And if you look right here on Sister Grimm's on her staff, she has a T and then the 1, 2, 3 slashes. And then if you look right here for Doctor Strange,
Mr. Doctor. Mr. Doctor.
It's strange.
Maybe.
his emblem on his shirt makes up the T. And then you have the 4 slashes down here on his bottom part of his tunic. So yeah, absolutely lit. Now I didn't see anything as far as Brother Voodoo, or Dr. Voodoo, if you will, however you want to call it. I didn't see anything as far as an awakened skill or a tier 3 clue for him. So maybe he's getting an awakened skill that's shared with Man Thing. I don't remember the last time that we've got like an awakened character that was that came to the game, like, you know what I mean, like fully awakened, like how we did with Omega Red, right? Which it took him a little while to get it, but he did get it. But I don't remember the last time they've done that, so I'm not sure what they'll do with Man Thing. Maybe the hint is in the eyes with the red glow, but that's common to the look of Man Thing. So absolutely dope with the sneak peek. The music is lit. 18 is doing their thing once again, so not mad at it. Let's go ahead and slide into the game. So just to start out here with Doctor Strange, as you can see, my guy has gotten a lot of looks over the years, all the way back to Infinity War, and then of course his first outfit. Every time he gets one, he becomes meta again. So I look for this uniform to push him right back to the top of the meta. as far as World Boss Legend, GBR, ABX, all of that stuff. They did change up the way that he plays in this uniform in particular in comparison to the older uniforms, and it doesn't have as much PvP potential as some of the older uniforms did in the past. But as far as World Boss or GBR and PvE content, he absolutely slaps. It was really all down to the 5th skill, basically making him cast clones of himself, tripling his damage output. And then on top of that, it gives him a whopping 60% all attack increase with a 30% crit rate buff. On top of that, he does have 1.3% damage accumulation coming from the 4th skill. The only thing he's really lacking is a decent heal. I do believe his heal is like 10 or 15%. Yeah. So, you know, that does need to be addressed. But other than that, Strange has pretty much always been a powerhouse. So him getting a tier 4 is really just going to push him back up into the stratosphere. Now, Dr. Voodoo, on the other hand, this guy, they really screwed up when they released him. His skill animations are absolutely some of the best skill animations that we have in the game for a character that doesn't have a uniform. He's got a V-pad skill. He does have the summoner thing going on, but then they tied his healing to him inflicting poison damage on the enemy. As you see right here, activation rate, 90% chance when attacking the enemy with poison effect. Well, the way that they kind of worded it, it was worded in such a way to where the poison effect had to actually hit the enemy and them take poison damage in order for the heal to kick in. They should have done was basically said that, you know, whenever he uses poison skill, that the heal kicks in. Either that or, and then this thing has a 9-second cooldown, but either that or just give him a flat heal and do away with all this nonsense altogether. So that's one of the main things they need to change in this kit. Please don't give this guy a uniform and then no awakened skill, no nothing. We really don't need that sort of thing going on. So hopefully this guy, you know, gets some relevance. I would love to see it. I definitely build him. Then you got another forgotten character. Sister Grimm hasn't been touched in years. She actually did get one uniform years and years ago. She actually got this uniform before I even started playing the game, before they started putting a lot of effects on uniforms, and you see it's just energy damage with a little bit of burn. So complete overhaul here. Have no idea which way they could take Sister Grimm. She does have a heal, a barrier effect. Now I was doing a little bit of research before I started playing the game, and it appears that way back in the day, she used to kind of be meta for PvP. She had the decreased energy defense for 10 seconds. So I know that used to be a really powerful effect back in the day. And she also had an energy shield and a built-in heal. So, you know, for her day with a 3-hit barrier. Now, by today's standards, this is nothing, right? So they could go back the PvP route with her. To be honest, I mean, she would be a blast female, so she'd kind of take up slack there a little bit where Emma's kind of falling off a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see what they do with Sister Grimm. And then, of course, we got my guy, the Man Thing. Now, I have no idea how they'll go with his kit, PvE, PvP, maybe something a la Thanos where he can do both. But what I would like to see is them introduce
money, mucho dinero,
Man Thing into the game as the first hero giant boss raid. It's a feasible thing. It can be done. It would make him free to play.
yeah, what, yeah, cocaine.
Instead of a biosub or X-Gene character, you would just have to farm to get him. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments below about that idea. I think it would be litty. It would be a place for us to use our villain characters finally in the game. So yeah, that's about all I gotta say about Man-Thing, because other than that, we're gonna have to wait and see. Brand new character coming to the game. Please drop more of those, definitely. This year has been a kind of a good bounce back year as opposed to last year as far as that's concerned. So keep it up, Netmarble, and we'll see how the end of the year rolls out. Hopefully we go out on a strong note. Now, you might see that I have a few other characters favorited down here at the bottom. Let's just go through the list right here. We got Ancient One, Magic, we got Baron Mordo, Icilius, Wong.
And as for Mr. Wong,
Just one. The Sorcerer Supreme, master of the mystic arts, leader and former librarian of Kamatage.
yeah.
And of course, Leah. The reason why I got these particular characters highlighted is for a simple reason. They're all connected in some way, shape, or form to Doctor Strange and that whole Sorcerer Supreme family of characters. And also, most of them are magic wielders inside of the Marvel Universe. Some of these characters may actually be relevant as far as the mid-month is concerned, especially Baron Mordo and this guy. Not to get too much into it, no spoilers and no nothing, but he's never gotten a uniform. So this would be a prime opportunity for them to do something for this guy, bring him back into the game, give him a awakened skill, tier 3, that sort of thing. I don't know another time that they would really even be able to do it. And then on top of that, if you go back over here to Twitter, just to try and kind of maybe piece this together a little bit, it says that the Midnight Suns have gathered together to ward off any sinister supernatural forces. And then if you go over here to the sneak peek on the forum, they use the wording, come together to protect the earth from evil. So what evil supernatural force could they be talking about? That's kind of where my mind is going with this. Who's gonna be the villain? So the mid-month is probably most likely gonna be a villain. This is kind of why I ruled out characters like Magic, even though she would be amazing, but she did recently get an outfit, right? And a tier 3. This is also why I ruled out characters like Wong, even though he would still be relevant if you don't have him at tier 3. With all of these magic wielders coming to the game, his, 4-star passive is gonna become very, very relevant. 53% damage to heroes and villains for all magic allies. It's another reason why I think they may be doing a giant boss raid Man-Thing as a superhero. You know, this is also why I ruled out Clea, even though she's been a antagonist to Doctor Strange and others at times. Not so much, right? I mean, could be, but I really think they're saving Clea for the Multiverse of Madness Part 2 or the next Doctor Strange movie. So, you know, that's kind of why I'm ruling that out. But that doesn't leave out Baron Mordo. That doesn't leave out Icilius.
Mr. Doctor.
Also, kind of why I ruled out Ancient. Still pretty good support leadership. Still has a lot of utility in the game. Still able to kill Jean Grey at tier 4 in PvP. So he has a lot of use right now. I don't see them really giving her anything else at this particular point in time. So that pretty much boils it down to Icilius and my guy Baron Mordo here. Even though he did also get a uniform with Multiverse of Madness, to be honest, it's not that great. I know it hits hard in certain capacities, one-on-one settings, you can do some cheeky stuff with it. By and large, this uniform underperformed. He does have a passive healing on 4-star passive. He's got some super armor, a couple frenzy buffs, some damage immunity, no iframe ignore, no damage accumulation, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe on the uniform passive, maybe 100% chance to become immune to damage, 50% energy reflect. So he does a little bit in PvP, and he has a remove all debuff. I think he's like an AC character or something like that. But, by and large, a lot of people were expecting some stuff out of this guy, and get like an AC character, a Shadowlander or something like that. It's not very healing, right? And then, to be honest, I was expecting a lot of magical sort of, magically delicious sort of treats out of this guy. And they got him out here shooting bow and arrows and all of this old stuff. So, I really didn't get it. I really didn't understand it. That's about as magical as it gets. And then Caecilius, so Caecilius already has an awakened skill, and so does Clea, apparently. So they gave these guys awakened skills back in the day and never really gave them a uniform. So hopefully it's a chance for some justice for at least one of them. And we pretty much know it's coming for Clea, right? But Caecilius, not so much. So it could very well be his turn to get some sort of something. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Make sure y'all push that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Make sure you click that notification bell. Come visit us on Facebook, Twitter, all of that jazz. Links are in the description down below. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.